I can officially announce that Captain America Civil War is fantastic. It's not perfect. Trust me, it's not perfect, but it's fantastic. Hey, Ashguy1370 here, and Thursday night, I got to see Marvel's latest continuity in their cinematic universe, Captain America Civil War. In this chapter, when the Avengers, not just Captain America's team, but the actual Avengers, when they failed to reduce civilian casualties when going after what would be left of Hydra, the US government steps in and, with what I think was over 130 countries, makes S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers property of the United Nations. Iron Man Tony Stark is for this after being guilt-tripped by a parent of a casualty from the Ultron attack, while Captain America himself, Steve Rogers, is against it, knowing that they'll use the Avengers for government corruption. What fuels this tension between Team Cap and Team Iron Man is the situation with the Winter Soldier himself, Bucky Barnes. This leads to the big showdown with the now divided Avengers at each other's throats. The film uses Marvel Civil War comics as the basis for this story. The story is very good. We have some well-crafted attention that the writers do take advantage of. They make a good distinction of who you want to choose to root for. And some plot reveals that I'm not going to spoil gives us new information in this universe. We do see new character developments for Tony, Bucky, and Scarlet Witch, who was the most sympathetic character in this. They give great introductions to both Black Panther and Spider-Man in such short time. I really loved how they introduced Spider-Man, but is it just me, or was anyone put off by the fact that they made Aunt May a MILF? Now, don't get me wrong, Melissa Tomei is very hot, and I have no problems with MILFs, but when you think of Aunt May, you think of this. Not this. And for once in an MCU movie, they actually have the Avengers for when they deal things that need the Avengers. For movies such as Winter Soldier and The Dark World, where the biggest complaint was, where's the Avengers? Which I wholeheartedly agree with. Stuff like the plot of Dark World and Winter Soldier should have had the Avengers with them. They finally fixed that, and I'm glad they did. The best scene of this movie was the most advertised, which was the airport fight with the divided Avengers fighting against each other. They kept the screen time of the characters at good amounts and knew when to show the next piece of the fight. But, like I said, this movie was not perfect. It did have one or two little problems. First off was the pacing. The film did drag a little for some bits. This is more of a politically motivated movie, so there were a good amount of scenes of dialogue. It amazed me how they were able to do this movie without a villain. I mean, They had a villain? I knew Crossbones was in there for like 5 minutes, but... Oh, that guy! Yeah, what's his name? Zemo, that's his name. The villain this time was in the background. You forget that he's there because you're focused on the plot. Zemo in the comics, which he is known as Baron Zemo, is a scientist for the Nazis who wore a hood that was permanently fused to his face. But in Civil War, he's just a lone soldier looking for vengeance. Not to mention that there were hardly any development for Zemo, only but his goal to destroy the Avengers. The movie infused the atmosphere of the Winter Soldier movie with the atmosphere of the Avengers movies, which worked due to the fact that the Avengers are in this one, while keeping this a Captain America movie. So if you like a little bit of politics with your comic book movie, this movie's for you. I give this movie an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a Siskel and Ebert and please subscribe. Ashguy, Ulto.